Hi, and welcome back to Purple Collar Life. I'm Chad, and in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about why I think John Deere hit an absolute home run with the 3025E tractor, and why I really considered adding it to our fleet, but in the end, I decided not to. So in the video, we'll talk about the great things about the 3025E, and then why I decided it wasn't the right tractor for me. Here behind me is our John Deere 2210. We've made lots of videos on the channel about this tractor, and most recently I made a video about why there's a ton of surprising things you can do with the John Deere 2210. It has been a great tractor for us. Here you can see we've added the Curtis cab with heat. We've got the third function on the front. And you can learn more about this tractor in those other videos, but it does a lot of things really well. There's just a couple things that I wish it was bigger. I wish the chassis was taller. I wish the tires were bigger. I wish it had more front end loader lift capacity. And that's what had me looking at the John Deere 3025E. Now, as you know, we also have the Workmaster here on the channel. It's a great over 40 horsepower gasoline powered classic tractor. We've got the Ford 8N tractor, which many of you have seen our videos about, and you know how much we really like that tractor. We use it all the time. I did a video recently about the 6 amazing things you can still do with the 75-year-old Ford 8N tractor. If you haven't seen that, make sure you check it out. I'll put the link down below in the description. So you might be asking, why with the Ford 8N and the Ford Workmaster and the John Deere 2210 was I searching for another tractor? Well, I've been kind of thinking it might be time for something that's a step up, mainly thinking about all the firewood work we do and lifting those IBC totes. You can see back behind me here, there's a couple IBC totes back there that this John Deere tractor cannot lift when they're totally full. So I'll take some firewood out of them to move them around. But I thought it might be time, and it might be nice to have a little bit bigger tractor that could lift those IBC totes on the front end forks and had some better ground clearance, because you've seen in previous videos the 2210 doesn't have amazing ground clearance for traversing through the woods, which is primarily the land around us. And a couple times I've had some close calls with the undercarriage, and one time I actually destroyed that hydrostatic fan and made a video about how to replace that fan underneath the John Deere 2210. Let's talk about why the John Deere 3025E is a home run in my book. If you weren't aware, the John Deere 3025E is a under 25 horsepower tractor that's in the 3 series size of John Deere. That means it's got the bigger tires in the front and the back, the larger loader, the ground clearance that you would get with a normal 3 series tractor. Those are all amazing things about the John Deere 3025E. And the price point. So for a John Deere brand tractor, you can get right now, brand new, a 3025E for $25,000. And because tractor sales are a little light right now, they've got 0% financing. If you're shopping for a tractor, I think now is the right time to buy, new or used. Because the tractor market is softening a little bit and prices are coming down and incentives are getting better on the new tractors, and that makes prices come down on the used tractors. So I had been looking at a couple used 3025Es. One at my local dealership has less than 100 hours on it, and they're asking $22,000 for it. Comes with the iMatch 3-point hitch already on it, has the front loader bucket, ready to go. Like I said, under 100 hours, $22,000. I've also seen some used ones online that are 100 to 300 hours that range between $18,000 and $22,000. Some of them might come with a box blade or an attachment. Some of them, for a little bit more money, might come with a brush hog. So there's a lot of good deals out there right now on the 3025E. So let's talk a little bit about the John Deere compact 3025E. It has no emissions equipment. It's that sub 25 horsepower class, which is simpler, reliable. It still gets you that big tractor feel. It's got the larger chassis than our 2210. It's got significantly bigger wheels and tires, which means you can load those rear wheels with the fluid ballast and give you more rear end ballast in addition to your ballast box or other implements on the back. It's got much improved ground clearance. If you look at the 2210, you can see there's not a lot of space underneath that. And if you look at these front wheels and tires, those are pretty small wheels and tires to be traveling through the woods with. The 3025E does have a foldable ROPS. The 2210 never had the foldable ROPS. Not that that would matter to us now that we have the Curtis cab on it. The 3025E has a wider bucket and some higher lift capacities. It also has more reach and stability for the forks because it's taller and wider. It has great capability for firewood, brush, logs, material handling, and it is extremely popular. There's a huge community and a visible resale value to the 3025E. So thinking about the 3025E for 20-some thousand dollars, let's say $20,000 to $22,000, I really thought about its capabilities versus my needs. So let's think about real world usage for me here on Purple Collar Life. The 3025E would be better for navigating the woods trails. It does have that better loader reach for unloading trailers. I could finally move some of those heavier pallet loads that the 2210 just simply can't handle. And it's a better base for future attachments. I have always been hesitant to use the PTO, the rear PTO on our 2210 because I've heard horror stories about breaking that PTO. I've seen lots of videos of people using the 3025E PTO for all kinds of stuff, from stump grinders to brush hogs to rototillers. That seems to be a system that people are happy with and use quite often. So let's look at some of the hard numbers, because one of my primary reasons to upgrade would be lift capacity. So looking at this John Deere 2210 with the 210 front end loader, its rated lift at the pin is 620 pounds to full height. That's barely enough for some of the heavy pallets. We had trouble unloading the split fire log splitter. It can't lift a full tote of firewood. Then there's the 3025E with a 300E. It's got 845 pounds of lift capacity at the pin to full height. So that's roughly 225 pounds better. It's better, but it's still going to be slightly limited with the forks and the forward reach. But thinking about the cost, $20-some thousand, when the horsepower is about the same, I'm not sure if it's worth it. So I'd like to hear you guys' comments down below. Leave a comment if you think the 3025E is actually the right upgrade for me because of the things we mentioned, the bigger chassis, the bigger tires, the lift capacity. Or if I should consider, let's say we spend $4,000 more, we spend $26,000, we could get something like a 3033R or a 3039R, which adds 2.5 times lift capacity of what we get with our 2210. So while tractor shopping, and I'm not in any hurry, so I've got lots of time to do the research, I've been just weighing the pros and cons of any upgrade at all, because we already have tractors that work great for us, or maybe the 3025E, though I'm not sure I'm getting enough bang for the buck over what I already have with the 2210, or save up a little bit more and maybe in the future get a used 3033R or a 3039R, something like that. Leave those comments down below, your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you guys think and what you guys do with the machines you have. If you've got a 3025E, let me know the stuff you're doing with it. If you chose the 3033R or the 3039R because you wanted the capabilities and some of the creature comforts that come with the R series tractors, let me know that down below in the comments. The nice thing about the 3R jump, the jump to the 3R series from John Deere, is that I could confidently lift and position the full IBC totes, some larger attachments and implements, and I'd have the PTO horsepower to more confidently run something like a rototiller or a brush hog. So that John Deere 3025E is still out at my local dealership, and you might be wondering, why don't you just pull the trigger on it? Get it, you're getting a bigger tractor, more loader capacity, and you're getting everything you were kind of looking for. Well, here's why I haven't jumped on it quite yet. The horsepower gain is pretty small. The John Deere 2210 has 23 horsepower. The 3025E has 24.7 horsepower. The loader increase isn't huge enough in real world use, especially using the front end forks where that load is way out in front of the pin. Another holdback for me on the 3025E is the transmission question. So it does have hydrostatic transmission, which I really like, just like my 2210. But the R series has the eHydro, which is that electronic hydrostatic transmission, which gives you the auto throttle and some cruise control features. Some of those things that, from what I've read, makes the drive a lot more convenient and a lot more usable. So leave your comments down below if you've compared the eHydro with the regular hydrostatic transmission. The other slight hang up for me with the 3025E is the loader control being up on the arm of the loader. I've always liked the loader control being down at my side like it is on the 2210 and like it is on the R series. I'm worried that I would not like that loader joystick being up on the arm of the loader. So leave a comment if you've had both those and can compare that for me. I'd really appreciate that. Another thing I've been thinking about, and I know it's a minor thing, it's probably a silly little thing I would never think about, but on the 3025E, the fuel gauge is not on the dash. You've got to twist around behind you and look and see how much fuel is in the tank behind you. On the 2210, even though I hate that the fuel tank makes me lean over the hood to fill it, it does have, conveniently, the fuel gauge right on the dash. And I like looking down there and seeing how much fuel I have. So as I talk through this today, I don't think I've totally ruled out the 3025E. I know a lot of people who have it love it. I follow the forums and I follow the videos, and people use their 3025Es to do a lot of amazing things. And I think the upgrade in chassis size would really benefit me. But at this point, I'm still weighing my options. It seems like $20,000 or $22,000 for that little bit of an upgrade doesn't quite make sense to me. But again, I'm open to hearing what you guys think in the comments down below. My final takeaway is that if I'm going to spend $20,000, it really needs to be a big upgrade. And maybe the 3025E is that big upgrade. I'm just not sure about that yet. The 3025E is awesome. I'm just not sure if it's quite awesome enough for me right now. The 3R series unlocks a whole new capabilities class, but also comes at that higher price point. I think my plan is to keep watching the market for a used 3033R or a used 3039R so I can make a better comparison. I've never driven any 3R series. I have driven a 3E series. The 3E series does feel a lot bigger to me than my 2210. So maybe it is a big enough of an upgrade. I'm just not sold on that quite yet. And you guys can definitely help out by leaving those comments down below. So you can kind of see my thought process throughout this video. Maybe I've been a little bit rambly, as Jennifer would say, but I've been really just weighing the pros and cons of the upgrade to the 3025E, or holding out for a used 3R series tractor, or maybe just sticking with what we've got. The 2210 does a lot of amazing work for us, and maybe it's better to save that money and put it into retirement, be able to retire a little bit earlier. So I'm asking you guys, what do you think? Would you have made the jump if you're me? Who's running a 3025E out there? Do you guys love your machines? Let me know in the comments. Or is the 3R the right next tractor for me and the channel? As always, thanks for watching. We always love it when you guys leave the comments down below. We appreciate you watching. We're truly thankful for everybody who takes the time to watch and leave a comment and support the channel. That means a lot to us. It's hard to believe that we are in 5+ years of making videos here on Purple Collar Life, and I've loved every minute of it. Thanks again for the continued support. Look forward to reading those comments down below and seeing what you guys think about the 3025E. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you again the next time.